1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Saints, this is episode 7 of Fabian Seh. Madness, I tell you, madness. Greetings and salutations. What a go on, and John Sharp. So today's episode is called Out of Many, and it's looking at us in Jamaica. You know, our motto is, and we love to big up ourselves, and about out of many, one people. But are we though? Are we really? It's a beautiful idea, a beautiful concept, one that I personally believe in and think is possible. But when you look around Jamaica and in our livity, we're so divided and so separated. There's such separatism in Jamaica that we seem very invested in. So where are we catching the outer many one spirit in a real way? When are we living it as truth? I'm like, how many of us is this our lived reality? That we're a nation who's outer many one people. And you know, we're like an island, we're small, I know how we, but we're small. But what's our liberty? I mean, we're so divided. So let's look at it. Sexuality, color, race, class, gender, party politics, religion, schools, church. I mean, look at it. In everywhere you look, there's this tendency to go at each other and compete. You know, so I went to Calabar High School. Yeah, Rabalak. I have never been into the green and black versus purple thing. I don't buy into it. And the way even some of my fellow old boys from Calabar push this thing, and it's not healthy, especially in these times. I think you went to KC, that's fine. I went to Calabar, that's fine. You went to Queens, you went to Myrtle Grove, that's fine. And I think healthy competitiveness, like for champs and school channel quiz and those things, but this kind of clannish, cultish separatism is a challenge for me. I mean, I think we have to honestly lay this at probably the feet of our politicians. I think our politicians and politics has done Jamaica a disservice. This orange versus green foolishness, whereas you're Jamaican first, and it's fine to have your political beliefs, but is this good and right for Jamaica? Is this righteous for Jamaica? And that even bothers me. I think we have so many examples of where opposition seems to think we have to oppose everything and we need opposition. If something works, support it. You know, if the government is doing well and you're in opposition, big them up. Whatever party you are. And I think if you look at our history and the divisiveness and the violence and the crime and Jamaicans killing each other over politics, you know, from the 70s come down, it's a plague, it's a disease that I think has infected us to our core and drives a lot of the other stuff. That just this idea that I'm better than you, you know, you're less than me, you know, I can look down on you, that we have to have the pariahs, we have to have the people on the outskirts, and we want to keep them there. You know, it's really interesting. And even look at churches, the denominations, and this denomination linking up against this one, and who is this, and we really are going to heaven, and we have the truth, and God is speaking to us. God Almighty. I mean, even in the church, even in so-called religious leaders, there's this divisiveness. I mean, I have to big up my pastor, Reverend Sheila McKeithen, Universal Center of Truth for Better Living. And she always says to us, please don't let me hear anybody from this church dogging any other religion, tearing anybody else's belief system down. She said it's fine. You know, people will find a path that works for them. It's one God, one omniscient, omnipresent being that we may call by different names, or even people think it's a different God, that's fine. Allow people to believe what they believe and embrace the diversity. It's rough. I would pass it down to our kids. I mean, I work with youth and young people, and they're so unkind to each other. The name calling, the aggression. Hey, dirty girl, mongrel boy, you're ugly like your mother so and so and so and so and so. And it's like, it's in a heartbeat, the least thing. And I'm going, oh my God, where are they picking this up from? When they tell you the stories of them life and them liberty, you realize it's from adults. I say and I maintain, they pity them now make up nothing. Them inherited from us, and we are teach them. Every time I hear people talk about, oh, they pity them bad, me say, how we raise them. I'll do a Fabian Seh on that. Stop blaming the pity them. So here's some examples that have hit me and tickled me and made me laugh or made me sad about how divided and divisive we are in Jamaica. there's a food company, but I call it deal. There's a food company, right, that have a brand. So they start with a main brand. And let's say the brand was really more of a below crossroads brand, right? And that's just where they position themselves. And sadly, I feel some of the quality of what they offer is because of who their customers are or how they perceive their customers. Well, this same company decided to move uptown into a very uptown space. They renamed, they rebranded, so they're not using the regular company name. And a lot of people don't even know that this bakery that's in this very uptown location is run by that company because what they offer in that space is completely different. And to give this company credit, their service has gotten better, even in their original regular brands. They actually now have 2 spaces in this uptown space, and it makes me go, so you are deliberately, consciously tweaking a product and tweaking what you offer based on who you think your customers are and who you're serving. Another example, Chinese restaurant in an uptown location has a lunch special, right? And the lunch special is served, I guess, in the days of styrofoam, in a styrofoam box, but now in a box. This restaurant says that when you're having the lunch special, which is way cheaper, of course, you cannot eat the meal that you buy from them inside their restaurant. You might hear me say, well, so they're in a space where they share space with other food places, and there's a food court, there's a general area outside. You can eat the lunch special that you buy from them out there. When I heard for the first time, I was like, what are you talking about? So the thing set up, people, Jamaica, why we love separatism, so we not only have VIP, we have to have VVIP and VVVIP. So in this section, we are getting cocktails. Look at us, we're special. Why we love the division so? It's so, if you look at a lot of our events, we have all these different tiers that kind of say, you know, me better than you because me can afford this. And yeah, it's a money-making thing, but we're pandering to that need to be different and separate. Last example I'm going to share. Years ago, Yolanda Adams, one of my favorite gospel singers and singers in the world ever, and I'd love to do a show with Yolanda and your people, let's work this out. And Kirk Franklin, who I also am a really big fan of, they came on a performance. I think Donnie McClurkin was with them, because I think they've come as a trio twice. And I gather this was when they were in Mobay. When they came out to perform, there was a big space in front of them, and then with a few people or empty, and then the big space in the back far from the stage is where the most of the people were. And it threw them, they were like, okay, we don't understand. Of course, you know, the empty section was the VIP section where almost nobody had bought tickets. And I gather, like, after a couple songs, Kirk asked, and he said, okay, we're trying to figure out why the big space it's throwing us. We feel like we're singing, you know. So I think they got a message to them, explaining to them what it was, and they're like, oh. I hear as the show went on, so another maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or near to an hour in the show, when the big MTV VIP area still empty, I think it was Yolanda, I gather, who said, since, you know, we're well into the show, and it seems highly unlikely there's going to be a rush of people to fill this big empty section that we feel like we're singing over into another country, could you please move the barrier so the people who are so far away from us can come closer, since it's empty anyway. And I gather after a little, you know, the promoters did, but even that, this is a gospel concert. The world we not got speaking, the world we not got children. We have to have separate spaces to receive the little gospel music. The blessing now bounce down upon everybody. Yeah, so that's my question. Are we really out of many one people? Are we just a say that? My experience is something that we do lip service to, but we're heavily, sadly divided into the country. And I think if it is one of the many things that we sort that out, wow, if you think we're big, bad and Talawan now, wait till we really start to live our motto, out of many one people. My people, big up on yourself and stay tuned, because episode 8 soon drop. Later, blessings.